rounded forward shoulders with stiff hips and neck pain while sitting. Posture issues seem to be very common. In fact, just look at how you're watching this video now. All jokes aside, having good posture is an interesting topic. The truth of the matter is, we do not have to maintain a perfect posture 24 hours of the day to be pain-free. The human body is designed to move and can adapt to holding many different postures. It's not that one posture is necessarily good or bad, we just want to avoid being hunched forward all the time. Since it can lead to your shoulders becoming less mobile, and being hunched forward all the time probably is not how you want to present yourself to the world. Research shows that a more erect posture is perceived as more confident and may even produce a short-term boost in your testosterone levels. Especially now that we live in this digital age, it's very common for people to sit more than 7 hours per day. Also, scientific data shows that up to 66% of people maintain somewhat of a forward head posture. If you spend many hours sitting and constantly are in that curved position with little exercise, that's not a good thing. So I want to share with you a simple 10-minute mobility routine that you can use to break up your long sitting times. This is a mobility routine I use myself as well. From the days I was studying for my master's degree, to now an online coach and someone that spends hours reading research to create videos like this. I sit a lot and not always with what would be considered textbook posture. The combination of lifting weights, going for regular walks, and doing mobility work has helped increase my body's resilience despite sometimes sitting with a hunched forward posture. And I want the same for you, having a strong body that can be placed in different positions without breaking apart. The mobility routine that I will share with you today will directly target the areas that are impacted by prolonged sitting. The first stretch is a towel shoulder stretch to help open up your chest. We stretch the chest, biceps, and front deltoid muscles. These are all muscles that tend to tighten up when we sit and hunch forward. Adapt how wide you grip the towel based on your current mobility. The closer your hands together, the more challenging the stretch is. The key here is that you don't want to stretch the muscles until the point of severe discomfort. Feeling a mild but noticeable stretch around your chest muscles is the goal. And if you don't have a towel that's long enough to perform this exercise comfortably, you can also consider performing shoulder wall slides. Stand against the wall with your upper back, glutes, and head all touching the wall. Now bring your shoulders back to the side and slide up on the wall. Avoid the lower back from rounding as you slide up. Keep the core tight. Perform 2 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions of either the towel shoulder stretch or shoulder wall slides. Now, the second stretch is a cat camel. With this movement, you purposely move from spinal flexion to extension, helping you mobilize the muscles surrounding the spine. Sometimes people are afraid to move their spine, thinking you should always have a rigid core. But the best way to make a tissue resilient is by moving it. Building strength and being mobile is the best medicine against future discomfort. Get your body used to some form of spinal flexion and extension. The cat camel stretch does exactly that. We perform 2 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions on the cat camel stretch as well. With this stretch, if you sometimes sit in an overextended position or hunch forward to concentrate more, this position won't feel new to your body and you'll be able to better tolerate different types of sitting positions. The third movement is a thoracic side-lying stretch. You will often notice that one side of your body is slightly more mobile than the other. This stretch helps expose if there is a difference between mobility on each side, allowing you to improve any potential imbalances. Now, an imbalance is not necessarily dangerous. Our ancestors didn't use each arm equally when they used to pick rocks back in the day. But because we like to lift weights for building muscle and have balanced muscular development, having similar mobility between each side of your body is beneficial. With this stretch, lay on your side and open up your chest by pulling your shoulders back. The chest, biceps, and shoulders will get a good stretch here. We do 2 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions per side with this movement. The fourth stretch is a dynamic hip flexor stretch. Sitting behind a desk will of course also impact your lower body. Specifically, the hips will be in a shortened position for a long period of time. So it only makes sense to also stretch the hip flexors to help mobilize them. Instead of holding the hip flexor stretch, I recommend moving back and forth. Research shows that a dynamic hip flexor stretch is more effective for improving hip range of motion compared to statically stretching the hips. The fifth and final movement in this mobility routine is also lower body focused, and that is doing side-lying hip abductions. With long hours of sitting, your glute muscles remain in a stretched position. The glutes support your lower back, so having weak glutes can lead to overcompensation of your lower back in everyday movements, resulting in back pain. The side-lying hip abduction helps us activate the glutes. Specifically, the side of your glutes will be activated the most. To help challenge the glute medius effectively, turn your toes slightly inward and raise your foot diagonally back. Do this for 10 to 12 repetitions on each leg for 2 sets. After doing all 5 stretches for 2 sets each, about 10 minutes will have passed and you'll put your body through a variety of correctional movements that will benefit your overall mobility. This mobility routine is designed to help you target the areas that are impacted most with sitting. But it is worth emphasizing that moving in its broadest sense is key when it comes to avoiding the discomfort that comes with long sitting hours. In one study, it was found that having low physical activity had a stronger correlation with neck pain compared to having a forward neck posture. Meaning, you do not always have to maintain the perfect posture, but you definitely should be moving throughout the day. Break up your sitting with a simple 10-minute mobility routine I just showed you by doing it once per day. Also, if you have a standing desk, it can help to move from sitting to standing every few hours to give your body a change. And of course, the mobility routine I just showed you is not a replacement for good strength training. It adds on to the benefits lifting has. One recent study found that lifting weights with a full range of motion has similar mobility benefits as static stretching. So by lifting weights and doing some mobility work around your long sitting hours, you will keep your body in good shape. Also, going for a daily walk has profound benefits for posture. Research shows that low activity and high work stress has a strong correlation with pain and compromised posture. A walk outside helps you increase your activity and decrease stress levels, so you get a double benefit here. And that was basically it for today's video. I hope this video gave you a better idea of how you can go about improving your posture. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also, if you found this video helpful, then leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video.